It's a life created by design rather than by default. Absolutely. Everything that I've wanted to happen is happening by choice, not by default.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I am joined by Michael, who's been making some serious waves in the real estate industry for the last 20 years, from across the board as an attorney, financial planner, and even syndications and new ground development. So I'm really excited to have him here. Michael, well, welcome in, man. Glad to have you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Great way to start the year.
Heck yeah, man. Brand new year, climbing out of the gate fast here. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from, honestly, how you're approaching what you do in general. We've had some interesting topics before, or conversation before we started recording, just on your overall mindset towards real estate, how you're using it, even how your family's involved with it. So let's dive in with that. For people who may not know you yet, what's your main focus right now and what markets are you operating in?
Sure. I'm a real estate syndicator. I've been operating in the multifamily space for a number of years. We set up a company called Grovia Capital, myself and 4 other partners, and we've been pretty active over the last just in the last 14 months. We've purchased over $40 million of property. We're doing due diligence on a property now. We operate in 2 markets, and that's in the Tampa Bay, Florida area, and in Texas, in Dallas, Fort Worth, and in the Houston MSA. We just had a closing on the 19th of December, bought
Nice.
2 properties that were sweetheart kind of properties there. It's 200 units. And we're already in an LOI and a PSA on a new one in Clearwater. So
Excellent.
those are the kinds of properties that we go for.
So when you're targeting those, what is it that makes it a deal for you? What are y'all looking for that shows you, okay, this is something we want to take a step further, keep digging in on possibly buying it?
Yeah, typically the deals are B type of assets, something that's not too old, in a great location. There has to be a value add component. So either operationally something's missing, or there needs to be some rehab to the property. Maybe it's been a little neglected over the years. And if we can bring that up in terms of value in some way, or if we can operationally improve things, then those are the kinds of deals that we typically look for. They're usually 100 units or more in these kind of markets. So either in secondary markets or in primary markets.
And what led you to that asset class? What was it about large
That's a good
multifamily?
question.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I've been an attorney and a wealth manager for a number of years. My practice is focused on helping wealthy families keep more of what they have. And over the years, and I've worked with many, many clients over the years, but over the years, you begin to see some trends. And so real estate has really been an evidenced way for me to see that wealthy families have built their wealth through real estate. And so it was something that I started doing early on as well, and understood that I need to have real estate component as one of the things that I do.
Man, it's
That's pretty much how it started. Um, and from there, I started doing fix and flips. Then I did rentals in and around New York City, where I've grown up. And after that, it got to be it was too big to manage on my own, and I just thought, let me go after particular markets that I can focus in, where their landlord-tenant kind of laws are favorable to the landlords, and where it makes sense financially to do that. And so that's how I started investing in real estate first in Florida, and then and that was maybe a dozen years ago, and then Texas as well.
so started in single family and then worked your way up.
Yep. That kind of it started out as flips. I then picked up a duplex in New York City, and I thought, maybe I'll keep it, rent it out afterwards. And I just sold that property. It's been well over 10 years, 10, 12 years, I think I've held on to that one. And I probably have 100,000 turned into a million plus in terms of equity. So it's definitely been a good thing. And over time, deals started coming that were bigger.
And when you're working with your clientele, what was it that you really saw in terms of that how real estate builds that generational wealth? What if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, I want to do that, what kind of thought process do they need to have in that?
Great question, and I see it today also. For example, the ability to be able to write off a lot of to the depreciation benefits that you have. I've got clients that make $1 million a year from cash flow, and they're paying very close to nothing, just because they've got all of that depreciation that they're taking over time. Other clients that are doing very well in their own businesses, but there's a component of real estate, the ability to want to be able to say one day, okay, I need to do something that's lighter on my time, on my energy. How do I do that and still continue to have the income coming in? So I've seen a lot of families, the real estate is the component that allows them to do that. Of course, stocks and bonds and other portfolios of companies where somebody else is doing the managing are part of it, but real estate has really been a big part of what's made my clients successful.
Because I love real estate. It's such a fascinating thing. How people use it, the different you can either have a business doing it, using it as part of your portfolio. It's something that it touches our lives in ways that oftentimes we don't even think about. Because that's something you said that you were experiencing personally as
Yeah.
you've grown. You've been doing a lot for a long time now, and you have that entrepreneurial spirit. In your own experience, what's that shift been like, and how has real estate been a part of that?
That's a great question. I'll share with you a quick story. About 12
Please.
or 13 years ago, I was really, it was the first time I've ever taken a vacation that was 2 weeks. And it's very difficult to do that. My wife is my partner in a law firm. And so when you both run the same business, it's very hard to be out of it. I love to travel. I love to be able to explore the world, and to be able to, you need some time to do that. And that's where, for me, a lot of my creativity comes in, and I need to be able to think about how to continue building my business. So with that, about 12 or 13 years ago, I realized that if I wanted to do this, I needed to structure my life in a way that would allow me to do uh, to be able to take off 2 weeks at a time, and at this point, I can probably take off 12 weeks out of the year with a couple weeks at a time in the business. So I've tried to engineer everything that we do in a way that would allow me to kind of live the life that I want to have, and real estate really became an integral part of that. And so, um, being able to to do what I need to do, even if I'm somewhere else, real estate is so much easier to be able to do, particularly when you have a bigger property and you have third party managers, and now you have just the ability to manage the asset. It's very different than managing the day to day of a small business. And so for me, as a professional, I make money when I'm seeing clients, and when I'm helping them get a result that they need. With real estate, that money continues to come in. It's based so much more on other people's efforts than it is on mine, and that was very important to accomplish.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I think you nailed a really important part there about taking that time to think about what you actually wanted in life. I know it's easy to get caught up, especially for entrepreneurs. Our proclivity is to action. We like to go. Like doing things isn't our normal problem. And typically, we run into doing too much or kind of losing sight of what it is we were trying to do to begin with. What were some resources that you used and frameworks that helped you kind of build that guiding light of, okay, this is where I'm trying to get to, whether it's that you talked about, you're creative, so you needed time off. Like, how did you come to those conclusions? So if someone's listening is thinking those same things where they could get a little help there.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me at that time, this was on a vacation in 2012 when I had this little epiphany, and I thought, what would I love to see my life be 10 years from now? And I just made a declaration. Some of it was just obnoxiously impossible at the time. But I thought, you got to think big, and I really wrote everything down in a lot of detail, and it was all aspects of life. It was about relationships, it was about travel, it was about money, it was about business, um, time, where I wanted to see my kids be in life, and all of that. And then I worked it backwards, and I said, well, if I need to end up being there 10 years from now, where would I need to be 5 years into it? And then I did it 3 years and 2 years and 1 year. And it became a very specific roadmap. It became my GPS system for getting from where I was to where I needed to be. I think for a lot of people, we start out and say, well, I want to end up there. I think I'm supposed to go west. Let me go west. And instead, what I realize is I've got to start at the end and work my way backwards. And it's not going to seem as big of a project. It was much more manageable. And 10 years later, when I look at many of the things that I set out, many of them happened. And when they didn't, I was able to adjust a little bit, because I had these markers on the road that I can see. And so today, getting back to that question of, today, if I look at all the entrepreneurial things that I'd love to be doing, but if it doesn't help me accomplish what is my 10-year plan or 20-year plan, I just say no. I just don't do it because it's taking away from the time. If I spend time on that, it would take away time from the things that would help me get to my designated designation.
Reminds me of Charlie Munger's quote, invert, always invert. I hit that. Always start at the end. Know what you don't want and what you do want, and be able to work backwards from there. And it does lay that map out for you, helps you see what you're trying to get to.
Yeah. And it becomes a lot more achievable when it's drawn out that way for you. Um,
How has that helped in overall do you feel like you're actually creating the life you want? Is it
Absolutely,
lining up
I
for you?
have, and I'm continuing to do that. It's a life created by design rather than by default. Absolutely, everything that I've wanted to happen is happening by choice, not by default.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Is it
Absolutely,
lining up for you?
I have, and I'm continuing to do that. It's a life created by design rather than by default. Absolutely, everything that I've wanted to happen is happening by choice, not by default.
How powerful is saying no for you now then at this stage of your
Um,
career?
it's empowering because that means that if I say no, that means that it gives me an opportunity to say yes to something that is more impactful and more valuable to me in terms of my time. And so if I can figure out how to do that kind of how to say no to many more things and to do just those things that I'm really, really good at that I can really make an impact, that would be helpful.
It's I think people get that backwards a lot too, because whenever you're first starting out, you gotta say yes to things. You're always talking, say yes, say yes, say yes. And then at some point along the way, you have to learn how to say no, or you just get spun out. You get so spread out into so many different things because one thing I've noticed in my own life, opportunity is really everywhere. It's not that there's a lack of opportunity. It's that focus on how do I pick the right opportunity besides just, will it give me a lot of money or will it make my career go better, whatever those things are. Where what I love about what you're doing is you said you took more into account than just money, just how much you wanted to have at the end of it. You're thinking relationships, how you wanted to be as a parent. And you're doing that 12 years ago. Heck, your kids are probably pretty small at that point, and you were thinking out into the future of what do I want for them? How does it look? What can I do today to actually pull that off? What would you say that did for your family life in the meantime, your time outside of work? Did it enrich it, make life more, I don't know, full in a way?
It did, plenty of challenges there as well. There are times when I'm super hyper on what I'm doing, and that means that and that might be work related and maybe not the kind of time that I would like to devote for family, but we have a shared purpose and a shared goal that we that they understand or that we understand collectively. And I think when you have that with your spouse, with your family, and everybody is on that same page of we're going in that direction, and that means that it may not be so comfortable at certain points. Um, there's more slack that your family will give you during that period of time. And then when it's really family time and we can we can go on vacation as a family together and spend really a lot of time just us
Turn it off.
and wonderful. Yeah.
You can actually be there. And I love that about the shared assurances. I think it's easy to kind of just keep stuff to yourself and keep going. And then you kind of just think other people understand you and what you're trying to do. But it sounds like you've been intentional in those around you knowing, hey, this is the guiding light. This is the whole point of all this. It's not just random. I'm waking up today to do this.
Right. And it's not only my goal, it's a shared goal between myself, my spouse, our children.
That's cool. That's cool because I don't hear that one too often out of the folks that I speak with. Is that it's really tying that together because I got two younger kids and I think about them and what life looks like 10 years from now and the things that I want to do with them and I'm going to apply that. I'm stealing some of that from today. Is connecting it more to their goals now. Did you find anything particular that helped you have that conversation more, that helped your family voice their goals too? So it wasn't just, hey, this is what dad wants. This is more of a collective. What was it like to have that conversation?
Yeah, I think it was my wife and I driving that, in terms of a vision, but, really being open with our family, with our kids, communicating with them, telling them about the tough times as well, not just all the positives. And so that they grow up grounded, they understand that that you need to have something to look forward to in that way, that you have a purpose. The reason why you're getting up in the middle of winter in New York when it's snowing and you still have to go to school or to work, at 7 or 8 in the morning, is because you have a particular purpose. The accomplishment is not just that day. It's a stepping stone to get you closer to where you're looking to go. And that makes it much more palatable for them, when they have that kind of vision.
That's powerful. I agree. Now, with that being said, looking ahead, what are you most focused on solving or scaling next? What's the next real goal?
Yeah, so I think you're talking about in terms of in terms of the real estate, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Broad as you want to
okay.
go.
Well, in terms of the real estate, we're 5 partners, part of Grovia Capital. We formalized our relationship about a year ago. We've just had a call this morning and congratulated each other on a year well done. We've worked together for more time than that, but it was a looser relationship. For us now, the goal over the next 5 years is really to build a strong, vertically integrated kind of a company that focuses on multifamily and these 2 markets. We want to delve deep into them. I suspect, or I intend to have thousands of units in those markets. Between all of us now, we have about 2,000 units, and we're continuing to grow. Probably going to take on another 500-600 units every year.
Now, do you have a certain number you're trying to get to, or as high as you can get it?
We have, it's not the numbers, it's probably the assets under management and how many deals we wanna. So I think our cadence is probably 3 to 4 deals a year, and, we wanna continue to buy, with that kind of a bandwidth. So that we see we can have.
For listeners who are earlier in their careers or trying to level up, what's made the biggest difference for you when it comes to building relationships and growing your network?
It took me a while to understand that the more connections, the more people I know, the more relationships I have, the easier things get to be able to get things done, because I realize that I know very little about lots of different things, but I have a good network of lots of other people that could help me do things. For example, we are doing a redevelopment project in Long Island, and we're purchasing a house, and there's an opportunity to possibly build another house there. And so it's a difference between making, I don't know, 20-30% return and making 150% return if I'm able to build that second property. Well, I needed an expert in variances. I needed an architect expert, and so because of my involvement in the town that I live in, I'm one of the trustees. The attorney there happens to work for a big firm that does this kind of work, and so having those kind of connections really makes it easier. And they also represent the town that we're asking the variance for, so it makes things a lot smoother and faster. Um, so being able to have those kinds of relationships, connections, really super helpful. And it took me a while to realize that that's really a big part of my net worth is, how do I utilize connections? How can I help other people bridge a gap for them, and how can they help me connect to the things that I need to connect to?
Absolutely. Because I've said this for a long time. Real estate's a relationship business. That's what it taught me. It is fine. There's so many different little aspects, like you were just saying, where when you know who to talk to, your problem's solved. There's way less stress. You can do bigger and better deals because you have the people in place that allow you to get those done. And it changes your life. My mentor is very big on that. Guy I still work with. He's actually based out of New York City, did commercial leasing for years up there, had his own brokerage. And it's one of the things that he harps on all the time. He says, go put people in your phone that you can't get their number in 30 years. Put them in, because as you have them, there's a quote, your net worth or your network is your net worth. You kind of just touched on it a second ago, where one thing I enjoy about it is even when those hard times do hit, where you have people around you, you have that support. So it's not just for when things are good, it's for when things get challenging too, that you don't feel left out on your island. Because that's what I learned in real estate too. It's easy to feel all alone out there because once you're in it, you meet people that do it. But before you really get into it, it's like nobody's into it. You're just kind of out there on your own.
Yeah, entrepreneurship in general, I think, is kind of a lonely place because you're doing something that the majority of people just don't get or don't support. And you're going one way, they're going a different way, or they're thinking a different way. And so it's nice to be able to have a network of other people that are doing something similar and to be able to lean on each other when things don't go 100%, to be able to lift each other up.
Yeah. That's a good way of saying it, lifting each other up, because it's what gets us through. You were talking about earlier how you even got your kids through challenges. That's its own little network, having that guiding light. This is what we're doing. This is how you get through a day that's hard. That's powerful. I appreciate you sharing that. So to wrap up here, if someone wanted to connect or collaborate with you and learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out with you?
Yeah, absolutely. LinkedIn is probably the best way. So I think my feed there is Davidov Michael. So linkedin.com slash Davidov, Davidov.
So if you're listening to this and you want to talk about syndications, financial planning, whatever it is that connects with that Michael, even if it's about, hey man, how do you structure that guiding 10-year journey? Reach out to him, let him know. I'm sure he'd be happy to talk with you. Michael, I appreciate your time, your story, your perspective for joining me today. I think we need more folks out there doing it like you're doing it. And if those of you tuning in, if you enjoyed today's episode, please like it, subscribe to our channel. We've got more conversations coming up with operators just like Michael who are out there building real businesses. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.